What if you could study so efficiently that you actually get better grades while spending less time with your books? Seriously, we're about to break down a system that works so well it honestly feels like you're cheating.
You know that feeling, right? You put in the work for days, maybe even weeks, getting ready for a huge exam. You give up your weekends, you say no to hanging out with friends, you do everything you're supposed to. And then you get the same grade as that person who just glanced at the notes the night before.
It is incredibly frustrating. It can make you feel like all that hard work was pointless, and it turns studying into this boring, exhausting chore that you just dread.
But here's the thing, and this is really important. If that sounds familiar, the problem isn't you. It has nothing to do with how smart you are or how hard you work. It's all about the broken, inefficient method you've been taught to use.
So in this explainer, we're going to fix that. We are pulling back the curtain on a few simple, powerful techniques that will help you get incredible grades by studying less, but way, way smarter. So let's start with the foundation.
The very first secret to learning faster has absolutely nothing to do with your books. It actually starts right up here, inside your head. It's all about the inner game of studying. Just think about the story you tell yourself before you even start. If you sit down thinking, this is going to be a long, boring nightmare, then guess what? It will be. Your brain just follows the script you give it. There was this fascinating Harvard study where hotel employees who were simply told to believe their physical work was good exercise saw actual health benefits, like lower blood pressure. So instead of saying, I'm never going to get this, try a new script. This is easy. I'll get this done in 30 minutes. That simple little shift changes everything. And just like your mindset, your body needs the right fuel. I know it's so easy to reach for sugary snacks when you're stressed, but research from UCLA shows that a high sugar intake literally creates brain fog, making it way harder to focus. So the key is to swap that candy for brain food. Things like nuts, berries, or fish are actually proven to boost your memory and help you stay sharp without that horrible sugar crash later.
Okay, so now that our mindset is right and we've got the right fuel, let's get to the single biggest hack for studying efficiently. This is what really separates the people who struggle for hours from those who master material in a fraction of the time.
Just think about that for a second. What if everything you needed for a top grade was hidden inside just 1/5 of your textbook, or your lecture notes? Well, this is the reality of studying. It's a concept called the Pareto principle. You might know it as the 80-20 rule. It basically means that about 80% of your exam results are going to come from just 20% of the core material. The secret isn't knowing everything, it's being able to find and completely master that vital 20%. So, how do you find it? It's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. First, get your hands on old exams and look for patterns. Pay super close attention to the topics your professor talks about over and over again in class. That is a huge clue. Zero in on the summaries at the end of each chapter. They're literally designed to give you the main points. And finally, practice the questions that show up again and again. You have to stop trying to memorize the entire book and start hunting for that critical 20%. So once you've identified that vital 20%, the next step is to learn it as quickly and as deeply as you possibly can. And for that, we're going to need a few powerful tactics. Have you ever heard of Parkinson's law? It's a really simple but powerful idea. If you give yourself all day to study one chapter, it will take you all day. Your brain will just relax, it'll get distracted, and it will move at a snail's pace. But what if you created just a little bit of urgency? This is where a simple timer becomes your absolute best friend. So instead of saying, I'll study this afternoon, try saying, I will finish this chapter in 30 minutes. The second you set that timer, your brain registers the countdown and it kicks into a high focus mode. It forces you to be efficient and to cut out all the distractions. It's a little bit of pressure, sure, but it's the good kind, the kind that gets results. Now here's the trap that pretty much all of us fall into. It feels really good to review the stuff we're already comfortable with, because it makes us feel like we're making progress. But real progress only happens when you step outside of that comfort zone. You have to target your weaknesses head-on. That means tackling the hardest chapters first, when your energy is at its highest. A brilliant little tactic is to go straight to the questions at the end of the chapter and then work backward to find the answers. And hey, don't be afraid to use modern tools. AI assistants like ChatGPT can basically be your own personal tutor, summarizing a complex idea in seconds or even creating a practice quiz for you on your weakest subject. Now this all leads us to something deeper, the final piece of the puzzle. We've focused a lot on being efficient and smart, but the real key to long-term mastery isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about embracing them. This is called the mastery loop. It's a simple but incredibly powerful system. When you get something wrong on a practice test, don't just brush it off.
Get a dedicated mistake book and write down the question. But here's the crucial step. Don't just write down the right answer. Write down why your original answer was wrong. This forces a much deeper level of understanding. And right before the exam, this little book of mistakes becomes your most valuable study guide, pretty much guaranteeing you won't make the same error twice.
Because at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about. It's not about some magic trick to get a perfect score without trying. It's about having a smarter system that lets you make real, measurable progress every single time you sit down to study. It's about turning your effort into results that you can actually be proud of.
For more explainers like this, like and subscribe to the channel.